When record revenue masks fragile wealth finance, meets gratitude with devotion to Lord Hanuman. When people hear the phrase record revenue, they often imagine unstoppable prosperity. Bigger numbers seem to promise a stronger future. Yet history repeatedly reveals a quieter truth. The tallest financial towers can hide fragile foundations. Revenue is movement, but wealth is resilience. And the difference between the two is where both financial wisdom and spiritual wisdom begin. Imagine a mighty river during the rainy season. The water rushes with incredible force, creating the illusion of endless abundance. But if the riverbanks are weak, the same water that appears powerful eventually causes erosion. Modern economies often behave in a similar way. Money may flow rapidly through businesses, households, and entire nations, while hidden weaknesses quietly grow beneath the surface. Gratitude begins by teaching us to see beyond appearances, because what is visible is rarely the whole story. In today's age of intelligent automation and advanced artificial intelligence, enormous amounts of information travel across the world in fractions of a second. Markets react instantly. Consumer preferences evolve rapidly. Digital transactions create astonishing levels of activity. Revenue can expand simply because more people participate in larger economic systems. Yet activity alone cannot measure genuine prosperity. A tree covered with leaves still depends on invisible roots. When roots weaken, the green canopy eventually follows. Human psychology makes this illusion even stronger. Our minds naturally celebrate visible growth. Bigger incomes, larger sales, and expanding lifestyles trigger feelings of success. Yet behavioral science reminds us that people often confuse motion with progress. Working longer hours does not always create greater freedom. Earning more money does not automatically produce lasting security. Financial peace emerges not from constant expansion, but from balance between earning, saving, investing wisely, and living intentionally. History offers countless reminders that civilizations often reach their greatest external success shortly before discovering their deepest internal vulnerabilities. Prosperity sometimes encourages overconfidence. Comfort reduces preparation. Easy growth weakens discipline. These cycles are not merely economic, they are deeply human. Gratitude interrupts this cycle because gratitude transforms abundance from entitlement into responsibility. When we appreciate what we already possess, we become less vulnerable to reckless decisions driven by endless desire. Minimalism enters this conversation in an unexpected way. Many people assume wealth means owning more. Yet fragile wealth frequently hides beneath excessive possessions, financed by future obligations rather than present strength. Genuine financial health resembles a well-built bridge. Every support beam carries weight carefully. Nothing exists merely for appearance. Simplicity often strengthens stability because every decision becomes intentional rather than impulsive. Health follows the same principle. A body fueled only by stimulants may perform impressively for a short period while silently exhausting itself. Similarly, an economy or a household can generate impressive revenue while neglecting recovery, emergency reserves, education, relationships, and emotional well-being. Sustainable success depends on invisible maintenance. The strongest structures spend as much energy preserving themselves as they do expanding. Artificial intelligence is becoming remarkably capable of identifying patterns hidden inside enormous amounts of data. Yet even the most advanced systems cannot replace human wisdom. They may estimate probabilities, but they cannot choose values. They can calculate efficiency, but they cannot teach contentment. Technology becomes most powerful when guided by disciplined human judgment rather than uncontrolled ambition. The future will increasingly reward people who combine technological understanding with ethical decision-making and emotional maturity. This is where the timeless example of Lord Hanuman becomes profoundly relevant. His greatness never came from seeking recognition. It came from unwavering devotion, disciplined action, fearless service, and complete humility. Despite possessing extraordinary strength, he remained free from arrogance because his purpose always exceeded his personal gain. Financial life becomes healthier when we adopt the same principle. Wealth should become a tool for service, responsibility, learning, and protection, not merely a symbol of status. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that our responsibility lies in performing righteous action without becoming enslaved by attachment to outcomes. This wisdom quietly transforms financial thinking. Revenue becomes an outcome rather than an identity. Investments become instruments rather than obsessions. Success becomes stewardship rather than self-glorification. Gratitude keeps ambition healthy because it reminds us that every opportunity carries responsibility alongside reward. Human relationships also reveal the difference between revenue and wealth. A person may accumulate impressive financial achievements while becoming emotionally isolated. Another may possess moderate financial resources, yet enjoy trust, love, meaningful friendships, physical health, and inner peace. Which life is truly wealthier? Psychology consistently suggests that long-term fulfillment depends less on external accumulation and more on meaningful connection, purpose, resilience, and gratitude. Perhaps the greatest financial asset is not money itself, but adaptability. The world continues changing through science, technology, demographic shifts, and evolving economies. Those who continuously learn remain resilient even when circumstances change. Education, character, discipline, and humility appreciate in value across every generation. These forms of wealth rarely appear on financial statements, yet they often determine whether visible success endures or disappears. So, whenever headlines celebrate record revenue, pause before celebrating the number alone. Ask a deeper question. Is the foundation becoming stronger? Are wisdom, resilience, gratitude, health, relationships, and integrity growing alongside financial achievement? If they are, revenue becomes a beautiful expression of genuine prosperity. If they are not, the numbers may simply be disguising fragile wealth. May we learn to build lives where visible success rests upon invisible strength. May gratitude protect us from illusion, discipline protect us from excess, wisdom protect us from pride, and devotion to Lord Hanuman fill our hearts with fearless humility. Then prosperity will no longer be measured only by what flows into our hands, but by the strength that remains within our character. That is the kind of wealth that survives uncertainty, inspires future generations, and brings lasting peace to both the mind and the soul.